Hello everybody, and welcome to my little slot on the Rothbury Poetry and Writing Group. Thanks very much, Katie, for having me along. I really appreciate it. I've been along in real life a couple of times. It's interesting times ending up doing it this way, but that's fine. I'm going to start with a song that I wrote after I visited the Isle of Lewis, a place where my mother's family were from the Isle of Lewis, but I had a holiday on Harris, just south of Lewis, in 1969. I was only 3 years old, and I have memories of that holiday, quite vivid memories of it, spending time with my dad. And when I went back in 2009 to the same village on Harris, the same features of the village were there that I remember, a little lochen and the jetty that I sat on with my dad in the evenings and that summer holiday. It was a very special memory, and I was quite amazed that the memory was actually accurate, to be honest, and it was a lovely thing. So I wrote this song, which is called Hebridean Memory. In a misty recollection of a distant northern bay, sitting with my father at the quiet end of day, at the water's edge we sat and talked, still and quiet there. A Hebridean memory for him and I to share. We sat upon the jetty and we watched the evening fall. Seabird song surrounds us, and he could name them all. There were oyster catchers piping, and the curlew's mournful cry. To this day they still transport me underneath an evening sky. Oh, and memories are worth more than gold, but we have no power to choose the ones that we'll forever hold, and the ones that we will lose. Then one day I returned again, after 40 years at last, in a Hebridean memory I found my golden past. The lochen and the jetty there I remembered as a lad. The perfect picture only lacked a wee boy and his dad. Oh, this memory's worth much more than gold, if I had the power to choose. This one I would forever hold, if the others I should lose. This one I would forever hold, if the others I should lose. Thank you very much. Hebridean Memory. Another memory I have, also Scottish based, from the early 1990s, and I went to a party in Cromarty, and it was a great party, and we were out, it was the middle of June, and we were out in the garden singing until the early hours of the morning. And there was a girl at that party who I sang with that night, and nothing else happened, and that was the end of it. But subsequently I learned that she'd actually had a bit of a shine for me, and I'd been completely oblivious to the whole thing. It's a bit unfortunate. Anyway, fast forward again many decades, and I was at a wedding of friends of mine who were at that party as well. And that girl was at that party, now married with 2 little kids, and I was happily in my relationship at the time. And it made me think how life has these little twists and turns that we have no control over, and you could make a decision and your life would take a completely different turn. You might end up living in a different country with a different person, and your life would be completely different. So that's the kind of story behind this song, and it's a song called Midsummer, Nightingale. I should say that this song, in the chorus, it uses some lines from Sir Walter Scott's song Jock of Hazeldean. That was the song that I sang in the garden that night with that girl. A song in a garden on a midsummer night, like nightingales high on music and light. Under the stars we sing with one voice that teases our hearts with impossible choice. Now let your grief be done, and dry your cheek, say pale. She's o'er the border and a wall, my midsummer nightingale. Flirtatious fancy that flits through the mind of alternative futures that we leave behind. And we'll never know if we chose wrong on that midsummer night of the Nightingale song. A song in a garden on a midsummer night, like nightingales high on music and light. And we'll never know if we chose wrong on that midsummer night of the Nightingale song, that midsummer night of the Nightingale song. Thank you very much.